Hello vinyl community, Mike from Mike Guitar Player 07 here coming at you live with another vinyl record video. And today you'll see I have two boxes in front of me. That's what we're going over today, what's in these boxes. Now, music format. Well, start off with the vinyl record. Then you got the 4-track cassette, the 8-track cassette, the compact cassette, the CD, and then digital. And now we're kind of into vinyl resurgence again. Now, when you had vinyl records in a record shop, and something that all of us generally love when it comes to record shopping, especially in the store, we love digging. We love flipping through the vinyl records. Now, as we have been in our local Walmarts, Targets, FYEs, however we consume music and buy music, Tower Records, I'm sure too, but I've never personally been to one. But like, all these stores, when the CD came out, well, we go into the CD nowadays. Yeah, you can flip through them, but it's not as much of ease flipping through them on the shelf. Not that we get much in the way of them in the brick and mortar stores anywhere, unless it's a record shop. Anyway, you don't really find them at retailers now, but I digress. Because, just for example, got a big record here, small thing here. Now, this is Stormfront by Billy Joel. It'll be important when we come through what's in these boxes, but you go through these, and these are a lot easier to flip through, a lot bigger. These, significantly smaller. But what did record companies do initially to make it so when you had those small discs, you were able to go through this? Well, they had things like this. And I have to keep these in this correct order because, well, first I'll show you what they are. What these are CD boxes. So you go to the record store, and in those bins where the records were, there were these boxes that you would flip through. So you'd have this one, you'd have, 5150 here, and my mom didn't save these, but my dad saved everything. So he has all of his until they stopped doing these with records. He had them all displayed in his childhood room. So I thought, and he has these organized in the order that he bought them in. I don't know which came first, what came second, and what came third, and what came fourth. There's 4 of these rows of them. But I thought it'd be cool to show these off because, not many people even know about these unless they were around in the time or have talked to me on Zoom, because I know I've shown this to a couple VC members outside of the world of YouTube. But these are pretty dang cool, and I wanted to show how these looked. And they all look, you see one, you see them all really, but it's cool to see all these, and there's a whole bunch of them. So why don't we get started and show some of these off. As you can tell, I got a bunch of piles of them. So I'll just show you what they look like. As we did it originally, we got Roxy Music's Avalon, and there was just this little hole on the bottom. They were shrink wrapped as you would get them then. And my dad went out of his way to tape these shut. So this is only halfway opening, but you can see how there's a little opening in the box at the bottom. He really did take care of his stuff. So we got Roxy Music's Avalon, 5150 by Van Halen, Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, and look how much thicker it was, the box, compared to 5150, a single disc versus a double LP, because as we all know, we had those thick boy cases back in the day before it was a single jewel case with the flipping disc thing. We have Eddie Money, The Sound of Money, his greatest hits. And all these are pretty much in a shrink wrap too, which is kind of cool too. Ooh, that one's sticking to that one. We got John Cicada. I guess this is self-titled. I haven't listened to every single record in my parents' CD collection yet, and this is not one of them. But yeah, I believe this when my parents were dating, I think my dad actually sang one of these songs to my mother, if I'm getting that story right. So yeah, now I'm learning I need to be a little bit more careful because the tape that my dad put on them are making some of these sticky. We got the Comp by Queen, classic Queen here. Oh, I should know, I didn't show, oh, and this has a hype sticker. So they had hype stickers on these too. But yeah, this was, and then we had the back cover, which also had the track listing. I don't know how well that's coming through there, but it does the track listing. And this was what Classic Queen was the equivalent of the US Greatest Hits Volume 2 for the longest time. Fun fact about Queen. We have History Never Repeats Itself, the best of the split ends. Yeah, that tape is what's making those all sticky. We got, what is it, Southside Johnny and Asbury Dukes? Yes, Southside Johnny and Asbury Dukes, Better Days. And this one was on sale for $13.99. Oh, and I should note, I don't know how well that's going to come up on camera, but it does have the title of it on the side there, as if it was, as it does on the side of the CD, you know. Has that too. We got Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. It entertains me the fact that my dad would never listen to this. I never thought of that. And they actually had some promotional things on some of these too, outside of the hype stickers and all this. This one was promoting Rock the Vote on the back of this one, so that's kind of cool. We have REO Speedwagons, The Hits. We got Nirvana's Nevermind. And yeah, it has like the back cover of what the album looked like on the back cover too on this one, like the back image. REO Speedwagons, the Second Decade of Rock and Roll, I believe this is called, right? Second Decade of Rock and Roll, 1981 and 91. And this is a live album, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of them I haven't heard yet, but all good stuff. Van Halen's From Lawful Carnal Knowledge, which was the very first Van Halen album I had heard in its entirety. Fun fact. We got Rush, Roll the Bones. In my opinion, an underrated Rush album. I think it's a good album. We got Erasure's The Innocents. If anybody knows Erasure's tune A Little Bit of Respect or A Little Respect, that's on this album. Jimmy Buffett, Songs You Know by Heart, his greatest hits album. And it's interesting because what the packaging shows, I don't have the CD with me because I didn't realize that it did this. Because the CD version, this is the vinyl record cover. The CD version is a yellow cover with just the lettering Jimmy Buffett on it, on the center of it. And the back cover is the same on the CD as the vinyl record did. But yeah, I never realized that. I hadn't gone through every single one of these, so. But yeah, the vinyl record cover for that. REM's Out of Time. And this is an album I've been meaning to pull out again and listen to. This is just such a great album. We got the Damn Yankees, and it contained the hit single, High Enough. I've only heard this album once or twice, so I don't know it too well, but it's interesting because it has not the original, it doesn't have the album cover on there because the album cover is featured on the back of on this one, which is interesting. And then we got the Band of Divinyls, which had the hit tune I Touch Myself, which is featured in the American Pie Band Camp movie, if you are familiar. And it's interesting. I guess in regards to the whole censorship thing that was happening in the late 80s, what year did this come out? This came out in 1990. So I guess this might have been still happening. I don't know, but it says it has an ad on the back that says censorship is un-American. Register to vote now. Don't let anyone take away that right. Raise your political voice, which is very interesting. I don't know if that's in response to that unhappiness with that whole situation or not, but I'm going to assume it is. We got The Soul Cages by Sting, which is interesting because it has a photo of Sting on the bottom and the actual album cover on the top of it. This is an album I've been meaning to listen to because I've only heard bits and pieces of it, but this is Slaughter, Stick It To You. And all all these. This has a really great band shot on the back of that one. And you can see very well in that one. I hope the camera's picking it up, the title of the album on that one. We got The Best of Blondie. It has what the back cover looked like, and the back cover was the same on the vinyl record and CD version. And they advertise on the bottom of this one, it says compact disc. Ooh, new technology. Cool stuff. Oh, this one's coming out of its plastic here. But we got Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 3. And we got the back cover on that. We got Joan Jett, The Hit List, which this was her cover album. I believe this is only covers, if I'm not mistaken. So, there's that one. I haven't heard that one in its entirety either. Let's see. This is an maybe it wasn't at the time, but it is nowadays. It's a very unrecognized Rod Stewart album, and this is Vagabond Heart. I don't know. I enjoy this album. Don't love everything in the 80s. Love his 70s work. And then he brought it back. What year was this Vagabond Heart album? 1991. Yeah, he brought it back with this album. He had a couple things in the 80s that were okay, but yeah, not for me. So that was really exciting when I heard that when I was getting back into him. We got Roxette Joyride, and this has the cover of the Foreigner tune Hot Blooded on it. This one must not have had a whole box to it, or it might have just had this promotional thing on it, but this is the Soup Dragons Love God album. This is a Queensryche Empire. And it says, with this album, Queensryche will undoubtedly become the new rulers of the metal empire. Oh, wow. I haven't been paying attention to where they bought all of these, my parents, or my dad, depending on what year. But this one says Tower Records on the price sticker. I don't know if that'll come up on there, but in red, the word is Tower. So, Tower Records. That's freaking cool. I have a piece of Tower Records history here. This is Genesis Abacab. I think I finally have learned how to pronounce that title right after multiple years. One of my favorite Depeche Mode albums, Violator. Pat Benatar's Best Shots. We got Cosmic Thing by the B-52s, which admittedly I haven't heard this one in its entirety either. We got Styx, Edge of the Century, which is another, this is like another underrated Styx album to me. I mean, Show Me the Way is fantastic, which was I think the hit off this album, but Love is a Ritual is great on that album. It's overall a very good album, and there's not many people pay attention to it. Alright, we got another one from Tower Records here. We got Paul McCartney, Flowers in the Dirt. We got Starship, Knee Deep in Hoopla, which is kind of cool because they kind of made their album cover, because in the actual CD cover they're all in a line, but they kind of elongated it and had that like curve shape for the bigger box, which is kind of cool. Knee Deep in Hoopla, and has a hit We Built This City on it. Let's see, we got the Stabilizers, the album Tyranny. An extremely underrated Bad Company album, in my opinion. This is Holy Water by Bad Company. And man, is it good. We got Winger's second album, which many people call Winger 2, but I call it by its real title, In the Heart of the Young. And that has a really good band shot in the back of there. We got a Grp Christmas Collection, which is a very good Christmas collection. Grp is a more, or it was in the late 80s, early 90s, was a more modern, contemporary, classical, and some jazz, contemporary jazz label. And it had artists like David Bennett on it, and Yukata, which, I don't know, I enjoy this album. I have 2 copies of this. I have the one from my parents' collection, and I was given a collection of CDs that had it in it. So I have it in mine and my parents' collection. But it's cool to have the original box that it came with. Next, we got the special limited collector's edition copy of INXS's album X. Alright, let's pull that there. We'll put this here. What do we got next? Next, we got Bad Company's debut. What's the sticker say? Super Saver and Owlwick Records, 1079 or 1097. Apparently, I'm dyslexic. We got the greatest hits of Toto, the present, past to present, 77 to 90. Animal House soundtrack. Shama-lama ding dong. We got another one, which was a double. You can see how much thicker that is. This is a Paul McCartney. What is it on? Tripping the Live Fantastic. Okay. I truly haven't listened to either of these 2 Paul McCartney albums yet, which is a sin, I know, because I'm a big Paul McCartney fan. But these 2 that my parents had in their collection, I just haven't heard yet. We got the Madonna, the Immaculate Collection, which has a photo of her that was featured on the back cover of the album. And his hype sticker says that it features 2 new songs, Rescue Me and Justify My Love, which is true. Rescue Me was only featured on this, and Justify My Love I don't really know anything about. I haven't heard this in a while, so I can't remember. But it also says, watch the Immaculate Collection home video, the first ever compilation of Madonna's greatest video clips. So that's cool. I presume it would have been on VHS back then, because what was this, 90, 91? Yeah, 90. Okay, cool. We got Then and Now by Asia. This is James Taylor's Greatest Hits, which doesn't have a whole lot to it because the album cover doesn't have a whole lot to it, but it's cool. The barcode has a paid thank you sticker over it. I don't know if you're making that out on the camera, but has that. We got the Eagles' Greatest Hits Volume 2, and the Volume 1 there, or back cover there, and I don't know if you're able to make it out, but on the actual compact disc image, it shows the track listing on the top and bottom, which would be the equivalent of side A and B on the vinyl record version. Let's see what we got here. We got Def Leppard's Pyromania. So this must have been on the back of it because it's only showing a track listing and all that. And also, this was actually the only MoFi CD that my parents had in their collection, which is Pyromania by Def Leppard. So it actually has, like, on the bottom there, like, sound wave, like how they it plays, aluminum versus the gold, because the MoFi CDs are gold plated. We got an album that has been in heavy rotation on my CD player recently because I don't have it on vinyl record yet. Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. Yeah, I had this album on CD and cassette, but not on vinyl record. But one day I shall. Now this one is interesting how they changed up the cover for the box. Aerosmith, Greatest Hits. And as I said, you could easily flip through these a lot easier than you would later on. And the reason they discontinued these is because of the amount of paper products that were essentially being wasted. That was the reason why they kind of stopped doing that, and understandably so. This is Duran Duran's Decade, which is their greatest hits album. Girls on Film, Girls on Film, all that fun stuff. We got Hangin' Tough by New Kids on the Block. They were the cool New Kids on the Block until they got discovered for lip syncing their concerts, but I digress on that. This is Merry Merry Christmas by New Kids on the Block, which I actually don't mind this album. I like it better than Hangin' Tough. That's just me. We got After the Show, I believe this is called. After the Snow by Modern English. We got just the paper here. I guess what they ended up doing is the cardboard boxes, and I think they ended up doing these just the paper for a while until they ended up just doing it how we see CDs today. But Scorpions, Best of Rockers and Ballads. And if I'm wrong with any of this, please correct me. I haven't done any research on these. I'm just assuming based on looking at these. We got Loverboy. This is big ones. The Moody Blues Greatest Hits. We got Chicago Greatest Hits 82 to 89. So their second comp album. Such a great, you can't go wrong with that. We got Journey's Greatest Hits, and the hype sticker here says Journey's Greatest Hits, 15 smash hit songs from America's premier rock and roll band, including Be Good to Yourself, Faithfully, Don't Stop Believin', Any Way You Want It, Open Arms, and 10 more, including 2 hit songs never before on Journey's albums. And I know that one of those would be the song Only the Young from Vision Quest, but what's the other one? Let me see. Ask the Lonely. Okay, Ask the Lonely was apparently in a movie called Two of a Kind, which I've never heard of, but I knew that Only the Young was. I never realized Ask the Lonely was not, but yeah. See, I'm learning things as I'm recording here. All right, we got Bad English's Self-Titled. And then we got the final one here. Now, is the album I was thinking is in here? Oh yeah, okay, cool. So we got my introduction to the band Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin 2. Doesn't show the gatefold or anything in it, but that is more than okay. We got Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 2. My parents have Greatest Hits Volume 1 too. I wonder if they have a, maybe they got that later on and didn't have a thing. But the reason I brought the Stormwatch down is because this one I remembered for a fact we had a box for. So I thought I'd give the comparison here to that. So we got Stormwatch in the front. The hype sticker says includes a smash, We Didn't Start the Fire, plus I Go to Extremes and Shameless. And then the back cover is exactly what Billy Joel looks like on the back cover. As I said as we were going through these, some of these look a little different and all that, but for the most part they're all the same. This is Phil Collins' solo album, but seriously. Here it is. Elton John's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. Now we got the normal back cover that we're used to seeing for that. We got Winger's debut with the hit tune 17 on it. We got Def Leppard's Hysteria. The Outfield, Play Deep. It's a super close-up image of the album cover, and shows a band shot in the back. Rick Astley, Whenever You Need Somebody, You're Never Gonna Give You Up. An album that I only need to hear one more time in my life and probably never again. We got Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits. We got Yes is 90125, the box, which is kind of cool. And this one actually has a band biography on the back, which is partly messed up by the price sticker that they put on it on top of the paid thank you, but has a bio on the top and then the track listing on the bottom. Of course, that album was popular for the tune Owner of a Lonely Heart. We got Records by Foreigner. Good stuff. We got No Jacket Required by Phil Collins. Honestly, full disclosure, I truly enjoy this album. This is a debut album by Tiffany. She was pretty back then. I don't know what she looks like now, but... We got OU 812 by Van Halen. And it has what's on the back cover of this album. All these generally do have what's on the back cover. It's just I'm not showing them if it's just the album track listing. The first one of my dad's / mom's, but mainly dad's, one's without shrink wrap or anything on it. But it is taped shut. Kansas's Greatest Hits. The Go-Go's Beauty and the Beat. Journey's Escape, which is super-sized photo of the album cover. We got Van Halen's 1984. And this is cool because on this one it has about the music on the back too. And I don't know if that same blurb is in the booklet or not, or if that was just promotional material, kind of like what you got on some of the records back in the day. I don't know what they were doing, because some of them have that, some of them don't. But all right, this one does not have its shrink either. But all right, my phone glitched out. That's okay. So what I was saying is, this is the Cars Greatest Hits. This one does not have the plastic on it, and it's actually not taped shut, so I can kind of show you what the inside of the box looks like here. Pretty much, it's just pretty much, as you'd expect, an empty box. So on the top of the box, there's I don't know how well you're gonna see that in there, but there's just a barrier, a piece of paper barrier kind of thing in there, stiffened in there. And then on this side, I know this is the wrong disc, but pretty much the disc would just go in here like this, kind of like that. And then that piece of paper that's on the top of it would block it from going all the way through the top. And then you get the disc out. Huzzah! Of course, this is a Billy Joel Stormfront, not the Cars Greatest Hits, but I'm just showing you for example purposes. We got The Best of the Monkees. And the Cars Greatest Hits, I'll go back to that for a moment. Different front image completely, but it does have the actual album cover on the back. Okay, so the Monkees. And then the last one of these to show would be Billy Joel's The Bridge. Now, as I said, these are in order compared to how mainly my dad bought them, because as I said, my mom didn't really save these boxes like my dad did. But when they started dating, I'm sure that my dad probably had her save some of them. I'm not sure, but anyway, this is just a cool piece of musical history that I don't think a lot of people, unless you were alive back then, really know about. And I know I most certainly wouldn't have if my dad never showed me these. So I thought it would just be cool to showcase these. So, what do you guys think? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you were alive back then, which I know many of the people in the VC have been, I'd love to know if the stuff I stated in this video, how accurate or inaccurate it is, because as I said, I haven't done any research, and this is just based on what I assume would be true. My logical thinking. So, what do you guys think? I think this is pretty freaking cool. So, thank you guys for watching. Keep on spinning that wax. Keep on enjoying your music, and I'll see you in the next vinyl record video.